I'm speaking on behalf of pro-quota film. There are lots of quota movements, as Clara said. We started working for women directors. There were 12 of us to begin with, but we've now spread out a bit and we're pro-quota film, representing women from every field in cinema. So if it's me up here, I have to think of a motto which I think is really good. Those who come are the right people. And that was certainly the case when we 12 started out. A bit closer? Okay. Clara, you'll see. You're going to see what happens with this little seed that you've sown here. It will grow. So, the story of women is a story of exclusion. Wherever women do appear in public space, they've had to fight for that right. For example, political participation and the right to choose what work they do. In our language, we don't mention women. They have to be covered by the male term. Marlies Kramer has just been denied the right by a court to be addressed in the female form by the bank that manages her money. And she writes on her website, language creates facts. Language can exclude, incite, devalue, and hurt. The savings banks exclude women from their forms, like in the whole country not so long ago, says Marlies Kramer in 2018. What about the media? Do they make women visible at the film colleges? Half of the graduates are female, but only half of those women work in their profession. So they've been well trained, studied excellent courses, but hardly have any opportunities to exercise their profession. Only 10% of the money used to fund filming goes to women, even though their films are more successful at festivals and win more prizes than those of their male colleagues. So these entrenched structures prevent women from unfolding their creative potential. The same applies to all the arts. The result is that 85% of the images we see on television and in the cinema are made by men. What does that mean for our society if the stories and perspectives of women are not represented, when they're mostly shown as young women who reflect conventional ideas of beauty? Because from the age of 30, women gradually disappear from the television screen and the cinema screen. So these media reflect ideas in society and influence those ideas. They set the role models for cultural behavior, especially for children and young people. Those images are regressive, and it usually means that women we see are simply sex objects for the men who play the parts. Films tend to be subsidized by public money, and if we don't correct that structure, we'll see the same old images. We need to break open those structures, and we firmly believe that we need quotas to do that in distributing the funds and distributing the commissions. Because only through quota will we get a diversity of voices, and the debate around Me Too at the moment shows that these asymmetric gender relations we have in front of and behind the camera are also reflected in the abuse of power through sexual harassment and violence. That Me Too debate is continuing, it's not going away, and the question we keep being asked is, why isn't it going away? I believe because there is a huge need on the part of women for change, for progress, and because this wave of solidarity has also not ebbed away. So women who come out as victims or whatever are experiencing collectively that their behavior did not provoke the incident, but that there's something wrong with our culture, and together we can change that culture. Now, coming on to the media, thank you. Coming on to the media, that change means we need more women in front of and behind the camera so that women's perspectives become more visible. And it's so important that we look to Europe and look to the countries where women's rights are being trampled underfoot and where they are not yet enshrined in law. In Germany, we have the laws, but what we lack is enforcement, implementation. And only if we all work together and raise our voices together can we ensure it happens. Thank you.